So art and technology heavily influence each other, and they've always worked seamlessly together. So it's time to use them, or is it time to use them to create a place of healing and beauty also?
Our next guest has started that journey with her work in the Metaverse. So joining us today is Canada's own digital and Metaverse artist, Krista Kim. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here, and you know, I think that for a lot of people, the Metaverse remains a mystery.
Yes.
You have described it as the greatest art project in the world. What does that mean?
Well, it's a blank canvas, and I think there are a lot of misconceptions of what the Metaverse is right now. People are confused. It's not Facebook's Meta. It's not Sandbox. It's not Roblox. These are just early entries into the Metaverse, because they came from gaming, right? So gaming has pivoted into Metaverse. But my vision for the future of the Metaverse is when we can actually have real utility in the Metaverse that adds value to our lives through education, through health and wellness. Can you imagine if you can go and get a therapy session or have group therapy sessions that are so accessible in the Metaverse in a beautiful setting that is actually healing? And wear beautiful fashion that you can buy. So NFTs also, you have to consider that NFTs are the building blocks of the Metaverse. Because for once, you can finally create a digital asset, a one-of-one or rarity with a digital file, whether it's fashion, whether it's art. So it's a real game changer, but I believe that education and art and wellness are really going to be the gateway into the Metaverse.
So you said NFT, non-fungible token.
Yes.
We'll get to that in this next question, because as I promoted you beforehand, you sold the first NFT piece of real estate, we'll call it. It was called the Mars House, for a very big sum of money. You were the first to do so. So first of all, what is that? And then what prompted you to create it?
I created the Mars House during the height of the COVID crisis. I was living in a condo in Yorkville with my 2 kids, and I was daydreaming about my dream home, because I thought, no, I want to escape reality, and I want to go into VR. I want to go into the Metaverse. So I created a Zen design of a house, and I named it the Mars House, because I wanted to take people into a fantasy, into a surreal space. It truly is an expression of Zen in the 21st century and beyond. I think that with our digital culture, with the overwhelming distraction and the negative mental health problems that we're suffering because of social media, especially the younger generations, the highest percentage of lonely and depressed people in any time in human history attributed to social media. So I want to create in the Metaverse, through the Metaverse, wellness and actual humanity and human connection.
I mean, I think about the possibilities when you start to imagine this are kind of endless, about people taking on new identities and new worlds and live in new spaces and look like different people. You're kind of touching on this now, but talk a little bit more about this wellness piece and how it feeds into your work.
Well, I'm a meditator. And I also, through meditation, I have actually mitigated anxiety and stress and depression. Right? I went through a very difficult divorce in 2013. So that's when my artistic journey and spiritual journey began, where I suddenly became self-healing through the art that I was creating. So I thought, if this artwork is healing me through the colors, because colors heal, right? And so if I can create healing art for me, then it must be healing for others. So that is where my journey began, and now I'm bringing those concepts through my new company that I started, Zero.xyz, where we're going to create with UCSF, University of Southern California, University of San Francisco Medical School, and with Deepak Chopra, we're going to create research-based immersive experiences that heal in the Metaverse.
So in keeping with those collaborations, let's talk about your Continuum Tour,
Yes.
which was here in Toronto.
Yeah.
It was a collaboration between you, Steve Aoki, and Smashing Pumpkins.
So, yes.
So tell us about it.
Okay, so the Continuum Tour, it's basically a giant LED wall where I use the power of light, the power of sound, the healing sound. Jeff Schroeder's of the Smashing Pumpkins is my collaborator who performed live at Fort York to the audience, and it was an immersive meditative experience that we're bringing around the world. And with Steve Aoki, he curated an auction at Sotheby's. I auctioned Continuum at Sotheby's with Steve Aoki, and we actually have Continuum, acquired in the permanent collection of LACMA Museum in LA.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big deal.
Wow.
Big deal. Very cool. You were also featured in Louis Vuitton's traveling exhibition called Louis 200. Again, very cool. These huge brands that want to work with you. What was that like?
Oh, it's such an honor. I was chosen amongst 200 other visionaries in this celebration of Louis Vuitton's 200th birthday, Mr. Louis Vuitton. He started with the trunk. His entire, this legacy is started from the trunk. And so what we were asked to do is to, describe what the future would be like through the trunk. How would you interpret this trunk? So I used the gradient because the gradient represents the new digital human. I believe that it's very Marshall McLuhan. I believe that, our new generation is very fluid, and fluidity is represented through the gradient.
All right. Fascinating. Okay, let's talk about the Elevate Festival that is coming up. What is it and what are people going to get from it?
Oh, I'm so excited to speak amongst incredible luminaries like Venus Williams and Chris Hadfield. For me, I'm very excited to share, my ideas about creating a better metaverse for health and wellness. But, Elevate will be from September the 20th to the 22nd, and it will be a Toronto, Canadian production that really brings people together in an entertaining festival atmosphere, technology and culture and art. So it's very exciting that they're creating this incredible platform that's global, international, for all people to come in and really learn about what's happening in technology and how you can bridge that in a humane way. It's really amazing.
It sounds like it's a good introduction to those interested in more about the metaverse, in terms of actually, reading about it, hearing about it, but then going to experience it. It's probably the best way to get to know it.
It's a great place to learn. Education is everything right now. There's so many new advancements in technology, including Web3, blockchain, and the art. So everybody should come out.
Okay, thank you so much, Krista, for coming out to our show. We really appreciate all of this information and this art.
You know where you can get some more all-around great content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with all the laughs and thought-provoking chats you could ask for. So do yourself a favor, like and subscribe now.